What do you mean I don't have a personality? I have definitely a big personality. I'm the person that owns Lightning with Twins Final Fantasy 13. What better personality do you want? Alright, fine. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy TheGamingTrouge here. Apparently only this does not give you a personality, but no worries, I have a backup personality right here. Why are you still confused? Apparently having a personality actually means something, so why don't I talk about my favorite Sonic the Hedgehog characters and see if that's the icebreaker that breaks the mold. After so many different topics, it's time for us to start asking the real questions. I have a lot of favorite characters in media, but none come close to my love for the characters of Sonic the Hedgehog. I love this franchise for many reasons, with its gameplay and its characters, and now it's time for me to talk about the latter. Here are some of the rules. For one thing, I'm basically putting story above anything else, because part of the reasons why I like the characters are the little arcs that they go through. This means I'm probably going to be spoiling a lot of Sonic games plots, including the recent Sonic Frontiers base game. Next is how much the characters resonate to me. I love a lot of characters, but there are some characters that hold a special place in my heart above other characters in this franchise, and I'll do my best to explain why in this video. And like every video of mine, this is just basically my opinion. If you have different opinions, leave your comments down below. But anyways, let's get started.
Inside, outside, take it down. It's time, go time, speed of sound. Never backing down. Won't let anyone get ahead of me. I will always be in the...
Dare I say, I may going to start a flame war in the comments about this character's placement.
Sir Trouge has committed a great sin of boldly beaming with pride. You chose to place Blaze the Cat at the bottom of the list for the sake of content, when you know deep down, she will always be at the top. Therefore, we will steal every last drop of your prideful deception and reveal the truth to the masses from the Phantoms.
That's probably nothing. All joking aside, I honestly really do love Blaze the Cat. She's just a super cool character. Yeah, sure, the first game I played her in was Sonic 06, and she doesn't really have that much of a big role in the game, but her presence left me a little awestruck. She definitely felt like a rival character, someone that could potentially rival Sonic the Hedgehog. Little did I know, she actually did meet Sonic the Hedgehog in Sonic Rush, a game predates Sonic 06. To my knowledge, she's basically just an alternate version of Sonic the Hedgehog who fights a separate version of Dr. Eggman and has Soul Emeralds, not necessarily Chaos Emeralds. Her presence in 06 tells a bit of a different story and supposed to basically be a soft reboot of the Sonic franchise, despite that Sonic Rush came out a year before this game. And she doesn't even seem to recognize Sonic the Hedgehog at all, but to be honest, it kind of added to the mystery as someone who first experience to Blaze the Cat was this video game. I was interested to find out more. Turns out that she doesn't really get any sort of screen time in this game, which is sad because she's a legitimately cool character and a fun character in 06, to be completely honest. Fast forward to Sonic and the Black Knight, and this is where she gets a spot on this list. The character of Percival is, yes, definitely a different character than Blaze the Cat, but at the same time, she's basically just Blaze the Cat, but kind of a soft reboot. I sense a trend here. She is the last swordsman you have to endure before taking on King Arthur, and she's calm, cool, and creative, but at the same time, she definitely knows how to pack a punch. When she sees Sonic for the first time, she asks what his master is, and he responds, "It's the wind." But then she has no other comment, and as she prepares to duel him, she loses to the aforementioned Knight of the Wind. Like Gawain before her, she was willing to risk her entire life for her king, because as she says,
"Without loyalty to the king, we are nothing."
But Sonic values life and risks his own life to go and save her, basically hanging off a side of a rocky mountain leading into lava. But by this point, they don't really have too many conversations. During the second campaign, you can tell that now what's most important is saving the kingdom, not bowing down to some king. Blaze is the type of character that's open to anything, and you can see in multiple of the games I've shown that she's open to the ideas of anything. If it's in the good interest to anyone around her, she can sacrifice her entire life for the people that she cares about. So yeah, despite not knowing her game of origin or what she's like in the Rush games, what I've seen in the other Sonic media is a strong female character that can take care of his own while also being open-minded to the possibilities if it's in the best interest for her and her friends. Did that make everything feel better? I definitely wasn't at gunpoint or anything.
Inside, outside, take it down. It's time, go time, speed of sound. Never backing down. Won't let anyone get ahead of me. I will always be in the...
Alright, I think the camera is on. Hey everybody, this is a post-GamingTrouge here telling you that there will not be any spoilers of the Knuckles TV show. This script was recorded way before that show came out, so if you guys would, please be respectful of everyone. Don't put spoilers in the comments. There won't be spoilers to the show here. Thank you guys so very much. I am tired, but Rockstar clears the mind. Now on that note, how about we talk about a character that I may or may not have made a couple memes here and there.
I'm the daddy, I'll be the best.
Hey, it's just an inside joke. It's just an inside joke. Like, there's nothing to it. There's nothing. Knuckles the Echidna is a character that I've grown to appreciate as the years goes on. As a kid, I was always under the impression of if the main character gets into any type of conflict with anyone else, then that character is immediately someone that I want to just deck in the face. Characters like Barrett Wallace, Seto Kaiba, Riku, and Sasuke were characters that as a kid I actually really hated for multiple reasons, and I still really don't like Sasuke in the grand scheme of things. And Knuckles was basically filling in the same boat, but unlike when I was 11 and had these thoughts, I actually grown to love and appreciate Knuckles way more now, and yes, it's because of the movie. Movie Knuckles got everything right about the character to its very last detail. Way before the events of Sonic Movie 1, the Echidnas and the Owl People basically were fighting tooth and nail. They were in a never-ending war, and when they got wind that Sonic was basically a pupil of the Owl People, well, that spelled bad news for our blue lore. At the end of the Ice Temple scene, we finally get some more backstory on Knuckles, and the fact that he also lost someone on the very day that Sonic ran away from Longclaw and ended up on Earth. Now, these are characters that basically share similar stories, but basically went down two different paths. One last battle that was so epic that reminded me of the Luffy vs. Arlong fight in the live-action One Piece. Knuckles learns the truth about Dr. Eggman's true intentions and basically wanting to use the Master Emerald to take over the world. Now our heroes are basically in a sticky situation, and Sonic sacrifices his own life to save Knuckles, a person that basically is a brother to him without necessarily being a brother. But Knuckles saves the day, and the two have a nice moment together, and this scene right here made me fall in love and respect Knuckles more and more. Knuckles realizes that Sonic is a net positive to the world, and the fact that he puts more people above himself makes him value Sonic even more so. That and this guy is a little teddy bear, and I just can't help but fall in love with him. So yeah, whether it be the movies or the video games, which there are definitely moments in the video games where Knuckles shines the brightest, just like games like Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Forces, where he's more of a military captain, I think it's safe to say that he's my favorite member of Team Sonic, and with the Knuckles show underway, I just can't help but fall in love with this little dude. Also, I just can't help but picture this moment together.
Inside, outside, take it down. It's time, go time, speed of sound. Never backing down. Won't let anyone get ahead of me. I will always be in the...
For those that are new to my content, hello, I'm TheGamingTrouge. There's a Pepsi machine in the back, but I am a believer that Sonic 06 is not that bad of a video game. It missed the mark for sure, especially for an anniversary title. But the thing is with Sonic 06 is that it has a lot of great character moments and especially great characterizations with its new character, Trunks the Wilbur Wobber Ain't Psycho 100 Silver the Hedgehog. Not 100% sure if you guys can sense a theme with Sonic the Hedgehog characters, but most if not all these characters are willing to change. They're willing to grow. They're willing to go beyond what they were originally told and basically benefit from the greater good. And Silver the Hedgehog has one of the best takes on this formula.
This world was devastated before I was born. A harsh, bleak place where we live in eternal darkness. Life is a struggle, and people live without hope. How did this happen? No one will answer me directly, but they always point to the flames.
Not even the first minute of Silver's story, you already understand what this character's perspective is. You know that something happened to this entire world and he just wants to figure out the mystery. And from the way he delivers this next line, you can tell that he's been fighting something that's almost unstoppable.
These flames, they burn away at my world, destroying everything in their path. They come from an eternal life form that we cannot truly defeat. The flames of disaster known as Iblis.
Going through the first level and the first boss fight with Iblis, you can tell the weight that's on Silver's shoulders. You can see firsthand this destruction of Iblis. And by the end of the first boss fight, you may even feel like Silver himself right here.
Looks like we stopped it for now.
But it'll just rise up from its ashes again. What's the point of all this? It'll never end.
What's the point of all this? It will never end. You can see and hear the weight of the entire world on his shoulders. Maybe you don't really see it. Maybe I'm looking too deep into it. But I can definitely sense a character that wants to do the right thing for his own world, but unfortunately can't even do the bare minimum of destroying a giant monster. But as a lot of media has taught us, in moments of weakness, you may choose a wrong decision or two. Enter Mephiles the Dark, a hedgehog that basically tells Silver to go back into the past and stop whoever created this madness to begin with, and puts out a hit on the one, the only, Sonic the Hedgehog. In a similar style to Ganondorf from Ocarina of Time, okay, I see you, with Silver now seeing a corrupt version of the light, he is now dead set on fighting the Iblis trigger and finally saving his world from destruction. Team Silver then gets blasted into the past and ends up in a past version of Soliana. The grass is so green, but Blaze is nowhere to be seen. Silver is truly by himself here. After a while, Silver finally finds the Iblis trigger and the most meme-worthy scene ever occurs.
Now I've got you, Sonic!
Hey!
Okay then. With Silver now missing his opportunity to meet up with Sonic, Amy decides to help them because she's also looking for Sonic, if you can't already tell. And after a while, they finally meet up. The confrontation that Silver has been waiting for. The man that destroyed his entire world in his eyes. The Iblis trigger is standing right in front of him. And as a wise man once said,
once you've fallen that far, there's almost no coming back.
However, unlike Floro and Kingdom Hearts, Silver actually has a redemption arc here. But before Silver can make the finishing blow, Amy uses her Taka no Jutsu and basically calms down the fight, allowing Sonic to go save Elise, but Amy is still confused and conflicted on why Silver did the things he did. Amy basically calls him crazy because she's seen in the past that Sonic is a net positive to the world, and not only that, he's the hero that this world definitely needs. And even ends with,
No! I don't believe it. Even if that was true. If I had to choose between the world and Sonic, I would choose Sonic.
abandoning your friends makes you worse than scum. That is a quote from Kakashi from Naruto, but it still applies here as Amy's belief that Sonic will never do such a thing outweighs the lies and possible truth that Silver is talking about. At this moment, he is doubting everything that he was told up until this point, everything Mephiles has told him, everything that Amy has told him. He doesn't know what is real and what is not.
To kill someone to save the world. Is that really the right thing to do?
Silver knows deep down this is not the right way to go about things, and definitely Mephiles is not helping out in the situation, but he still manages to go and find Sonic and Elise again for one more confrontation, hopefully just ending everything and seeing what happens, until he gets stopped by none other than Shadow the Hedgehog.
Chaos control!
But as these two keep fighting, a door opens to the past, and Silver finally seeks the answers that they're looking for. Upon going back in time, they go to when the Duke of Soliana was experimenting on Solaris, and then ended up splitting Solaris into Iblis and Mephiles. Silver gives 110% to try to stop Iblis, but the Duke tells him that only a Soliana bloodline can hold the powers of Iblis. So in the Duke's final moments, he pulls out a Silver Chaos Emerald and seals away Iblis and his daughter, Elise. Silver is awestruck by all the events that just happened, and you can only picture what his thought process is being like right now. The Duke's last words before he dies is to take Elise to somewhere safe, to somewhere away from here, and he does so, and again leaving her with a special charm, the Blue Chaos Emerald. This scene alone made me love Silver more and more. His character growth throughout this entire story up until this point is perfect. I actually think it's one of the better stories in Sonic 06. You may be wondering why I'm spending all this time on this one character on this one game. Well, besides this game and just some cameos in other games, he hasn't had a full story since 2006, and that just sucks. This character is so cool and his story is so well told in my opinion. Whenever I think of this story, I think of characters like Roxas from Kingdom Hearts. Well, he will basically fight tooth and nail for his world, even if it fights the main series protagonist. Is he a perfect character? No, far from it. And also, the memes are still hilarious, despite the fact that I feel like most people disregard Silver as a character because of this game. But honestly, I really love the way Silver was handled in this story. I think he's one of the better aspects of this game. Well, it's a good thing that at least two stories of this video game is pretty good, none of them being Sonic related.
Inside, outside, take it down. It's time, go time, speed of sound. Never backing down. Won't let anyone get ahead of me. I will always be in the...
So I'm stealing this from Kingdom Hearts. The closer you get to light, the greater your shadow becomes.
So our shadows are a
Black and red hedgehog that's super fluffy but at the same time packing heat! And he could also be a lover.
Why do you want to go to Mexico?
I just love Latinas, Sonic.
What?
Adios, amigo.
The ultimate life form, one of Sonic's biggest rivals, and probably one that most of you guys probably saw coming. This character is loved by many of people, getting fan-made shorts made out of him, to him fully being in the Sonic cinematic universe. Everyone loves Shadow the Hedgehog. Everyone loves an edgelord, dare I say. And his story is one of the most tragic yet powerful messages in both platformer history and just video game history as a whole. And the adventure started 50 years ago when Professor Gerald Robotnik wanted to heal her daughter Maria of an unknown illness. To our knowledge, the illness in question basically made it so Maria could not live on Earth, so Gerald will live in the space colony. As the doctor was struggling so long to find a cure, he made an ultimate life form, that being Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow and Maria became very close as Maria never had any friends and Shadow was basically just born. The two had dreams and aspirations to one day go to Earth and see the beautiful scenery. But nothing built can last forever, as the government basically finds that Shadow's too dangerous because they have the same brain cells as the government in Lilo and Stitch. This is where the stakes get heavy as Shadow and Maria start running away and Maria basically sending them to Earth while Maria herself gets shot by the government. No! Now Shadow seeks out the ones that killed his best friend, even going as far as defaming Sonic for basically stealing a Chaos Emerald. Their goal is to basically destroy Earth by using the 7 Chaos Emeralds to power up the Eclipse cannon and it blow up the entire Earth. And with already some emeralds in place, he shows off by demonstrating destroying half of the moon with the Eclipse cannon. And Shadow doesn't bat an eye. His eyes are blinded by rage. His heart is hardened by the people of Earth. He does not care. But in the end, he has one more pest to deal with. Sonic the Hedgehog. But right at the end, right at the climax, Sonic edges out as the victor against Shadow. At this moment in the story, a message from Joe Robotnik 50 years ago starts playing, telling that he actually has plans on just dropping the entire space colony onto Earth, possibly destroying everything, and there's no way of shutting it off. But now it's a race against the clock to try to get to the reactor bay, but then Amy and/or Chris, if you're watching Sonic X, has one more shot of Takano Jutsu to explain to Shadow that humanity is still good. Yes, we mess up. Yes, we make mistakes. But at the end of the day, we grow. We learn. We live and learn, dare I say. In Sonic X, I argue this scene hits way harder, and no, I'm not talking about the fact that he actually gets hit. I'm not going to fully dive into it, but I think Chris is an underrated character, and his story honestly parallels Shadow's story in a way. He understands the pain of humans. He understands how jerks they can be at times. Despite him basically living a rich life, at the same time, he does not see his parents all that often, and that hurt can still lead into potentially what Shadow is feeling. Despite getting yeeted across the room, he never gives up. He pushes with everything he's got, not even being violent back towards him, but pleading out to help out humanity. Finally leading off with this quote that honestly gets me every time.
It's true that there are some bad people in the world, but most people are good. I know that you'd agree with me if you only got to know them. Just like Maria wanted to. Shadow, please. Maria would want you to be friends with people.
Then Shadow remembers her last few moments. It wasn't in anger, it wasn't in rage, but it was in love, it was in remorse to the humankind. Weak, battered, and bruised, he still pushes everything he can to reach out for him until he passes out in Shadow's arms. This is the human element that makes Shadow such a relatable character. He has been through it all. He's seen the death of his best friend. He was asleep for 50 years. He has seen what humanity's dark side is, and that's all he ever knew. But now that he finally knows the mission, he is changing his ways. He is helping humanity, Sonic, and the rest of the crew, taking the fight to space with Sonic by going both Super Sonic and Super Shadow to one of the best boss battles in Sonic history. And then Sonic and Shadow giving it their all, with Shadow eventually sacrificing his entire life for Earth. His last few moments, he thanks Maria for everything and falls directly down into Earth. During the credits of Sonic Adventure 2, we see everyone lamenting over Shadow. Not only the possibility of him being the ultimate life form when they got done battling the Bio Lizard, but rejoicing in the fact that he, as a hero, sacrificed his own life for everyone else. At the end of the Sonic Adventure 2 arc in Sonic X, Sonic walks up to Chris, with Chris kind of away knowing what the outcome is, and then Sonic gives him the ring that Shadow has. And also that's taking into the fact that this is another character that left Chris. But Sonic does what Sonic does best and cheers up everybody, saying that Earth is now ready to run around in. And in both Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic X, Sonic's last lines is "Sayonara, Shadow the Hedgehog." Obviously, Shadow's story is not over as he appears in Sonic Heroes and Sonic 06 and many other games. Nope, not that one. Jumping back to Silver's campaign for a little bit, what makes the chemistry between Shadow and Silver super relatable is that you already know Shadow's backstory throughout the other games in the series, so seeing Shadow interact with Silver makes all the stuff I said about Silver work that much better. But out of all the games that I find him the best in, honestly his debut game is the best story that he's ever been in. And if you're looking for more Shadow content, please go and check out Project Shadow, the fan film I used for the backstory segment of this video. Well, now I'm trying to go find my coffee beans that Shadow the Hedgehog stole. See you guys later.
Why do you eat the coffee beans straight?
The water dilutes the flavor. I want coffee, not coffee-flavored water.
But eating just the beans, though? Wouldn't it be crunchy?
The best things in life have a crunch.
Inside, outside, take it down. It's time, go time, speed of sound. Never backing down. Won't let anyone get ahead of me. I will always be in the...
Big the Cat. I'm super glad he's back in the media again because he's just a lovable goofball. Billy from the Moto Sonic the Hedgehog. A great filling character that has a lot of personality and always goes through the trash can. Nice. Rouge the Bat. She has great comedic timing and she bounces off Knuckles really well. Also, the 4Kids actress is the same actress as my Valentine from Yu-Gi-Oh! And now I cannot see it. Amy Rose, another adorable dork that honestly puts a smile on my face every time she's on screen. Miles Tears per Hour. He's the man in the chair, but at the same time, he is also a great asset on the field. And like Knuckles, is a blast to see on the big screen.
Gotta keep up the pace, touch it out, never lose it, pace. Don't sit around, time will slip away. Run on towards a brand new day.
I'm hanging on to the other side. I won't give up till the end of May. I'm what you get when the stars collide. Now they say you're just an enemy. You're crossing the line. Now we've run out of time.
How can it not be him? Sonic the Hedgehog is one of my favorite video game characters ever. He's up there with Sora from Kingdom Hearts. He's up there with some of the greatest characters in fiction, dare I say. What started as just a simple character to rival Super Mario evolved into a character that anyone can look up to. I can literally pick any Sonic game to dissect and I can show you that he is super kind and generous. He puts fear into his enemies' eyes, but at the same time is remorseful to his rivals. He taught us to never give up and live life to the fullest like in Sonic and the Black Knight. Sonic helped Shadow and many others realize that revenge is never the right answer, and with Knuckles particularly, he taught him that wounds heal and forgiveness is the way to keep going on. And in his last game, Sonic Frontiers, he has shown so many life lessons to so many people, including himself. My buddy TheEternalSamurai posted up 2 videos talking about Sonic Frontiers and how it relates to your everyday to-day life, and I highly recommend watching those videos. In this adventure, every time Sonic saves one of his friends, he's constantly getting affected by corruption. And even when he's getting hurt, he's still giving inspiration to his best friends, helping them grow and reach to a better point, with Tails being the best example. But unfortunately, Sonic does give in to the corruption before the 4th island, and all of his friends remind him of the lessons that they've taught him, and it uses their powers to save Sonic. The biggest reason why I love Sonic to this very day is because he's not perfect. He's going to make mistakes, but at the same time, he is also a character that's willing to learn and grow, just as he has inspired so many other people before him. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Sonic the Hedgehog is #1 on my favorite characters list. And those, ladies and gentlemen, are my favorite characters. If you guys have a favorite characters, please let me know, but honestly, I gotta get down to the bottom of this and see if this will finally give me a personality. Hello? Yes, I would like to say that I actually love Fantasia 2000. It's the best Disney movie, and every movie after it is garbage! Special thanks to KattChatt for being a member of the Kingdom Keeper.